We begin tonight with the fallout of an hours-long standoff on Spokane's South Hill that drew a huge law enforcement response last night. Today, we know the man involved was reportedly suffering a mental health crisis. And within the last few hours, we've received court documents on the incident. We have KREM 2 team coverage tonight. Amanda Rowley has details on what exactly happened and where the investigation stands right now. But we start with our Shannon Mowdy, who talked with witnesses who saw that whole incident unfold. Shannon?
About 23 hours since the situation here on South Glenrose started, traffic is now moving through. Law enforcement opened up the blocked road about 2:30 this afternoon. Now, even though that standoff is over, some of the people in this neighborhood are still on edge. The area near Glenrose Road on the South Hill was blocked off for hours Friday after an overnight standoff at this home. The scene is close to Moran Prairie Elementary, where Cameo Katz's daughter goes to school.
It's kind of a gut-wrenching feeling knowing my daughter walks by that house every day. So it's not the best feeling.
Their area was on lockdown Thursday night, with police just a few houses away, and the fear hit home.
She didn't sleep much last night. She kept crying. She was super terrified.
Jack and Nancy Abel live in the area and had no idea what was going on just a few doors down.
No, I was in the valley coming home, and all these police cars were just zooming in their cars and going fast with their blinker on.
Until a friend called to check in, and then they saw their own neighborhood on the news.
Because my friend said, well, it's near that Dairy Queen, and I thought, oh, wow, that's pretty close. Well, it's actually closer than that.
Today, they got an even closer view of the scene, inadvertently, while on their afternoon walk.
They let us walk down there. However, another officer said we weren't supposed to. It's a crime scene. But anyway, we were there. And it was obvious the house that he was in because all the windows are blown out. There's just so much damage to the garage. And I mean, it almost looks like an explosion happened or something.
And what happened so close to home is something they won't soon forget.
Very much, yes.
Yeah.
It's a pretty quiet neighborhood, and, you know, I mean, there have been like burglaries and things like that, but nothing with guns, and that's kind of frightening.
I'm happy it's over.
We do know the suspect was injured during the standoff, but according to the Spokane County Sheriff, those injuries are not life-threatening. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much. Our Amanda Rowley continues our team coverage tonight, breaking down what we know about the incident so far. Amanda?
Well, we are now learning from new search warrants that deputies were familiar with the man involved in last night's standoff, and they also knew that he was diagnosed as a schizophrenic. Now, documents say when he was in a symptomatic state, he became homicidal, and he has made suicide by cop statements in the past. For these reasons, we are choosing not to identify him. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says mental health professionals reported the man's declining mental health on Wednesday when an argument with his mother escalated to threatening to kill her. Later that evening, deputies say he raised a gun at them through a window at his home. They took cover and made the decision to leave so as not to force a deadly encounter.
We have the state law that dictates we take all the steps we possibly can, to include leaving, to avoid using lethal force.
A team monitored the man's home. The next day, they followed him to a nearby store where he reportedly threatened people there. He eventually returned home where officers were not able to stop him before barricading himself inside. Shortly after deputies called backup, they reported gunshots.
We're at his house. We have the front surrounded. No cover in the rear. He's yelling from inside the house at us. Our shots fired! Our shots fired!
Sheriff John Knowles explained to me why deputies didn't take the man into custody immediately after the initial threats against his mother.
The decision was made that evening, not last night, but the night before, that he wasn't an imminent threat to anybody but himself. The mother was not at the home. The family members were not at the home, and he had not made any overt threats that we were aware of to the surrounding community.
In other words, the man wasn't considered an imminent threat to the community until the incident at the store. That was the tipping point for law enforcement's engagement. Now, deputies took the man into custody late last night. He is currently at the hospital getting treatment, and deputies say he was arrested with 2 counts of second-degree assault and 1 count of second-degree robbery. Reporting from the Public Safety Building, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.